Hi everyone, this video is going to cover how to set up a WordPress.com site, a free site, and set it up for a really simple business. This is great for students to quickly move through and create a presence online with no cost, just a little bit of time. In preparation, before we do the website, there's a couple of things you should get ready, and that's images. So every website obviously has an image or two. Let's go and have a look at how we prepare those really quickly, and then we can use them in the site once we get going. So here we go. So here's one I've prepared earlier. It's an image that I've taken. I'm going to use this as a banner. So let's have a look at this banner shot. I'll just get rid of this. So I went holidaying in Fiji recently, so I'm going to use this as my banner shot. Now, a common problem with images used on the web are sizing. So the concept of width, so a full screen, so this is something that I've just taken on my iPhone in an underwater sort of environment casing thing. So, but the width is 3,000 pixels wide, or 3,500 pixels wide. That's way too wide. So a standard website is only really 1,200 wide. So let's adjust our width of that, and let's go back into, we can view at actual size. It's still big, see, that's actual size. So I want it to be a little bit shorter than that. So let's as well. So our banner is really only going to be a top banner, so it's going to be about that high, if you like. So what I can do in preview, and you can do this in other tools as well, is just select the box, go tools. Instead of adjusting size, we're cropping. So it's just taking that out, getting that ready. So that's all good. I'm going to save that, and we're ready to go. You might also notice it's a JPEG. We might need to optimize it a little bit more, but for this purpose, we now have, let's just check the size of that. So 1,200 wide. The height is about 600 or 585. That's all cool. Resolution is good. That's ready to go. So we may want another image, like a logo, perhaps. So let's have a look. I've just downloaded this off a free logo provider, and you'll notice that this has a see-through background. A lot of logos need a see-through background depending on what it does on the web. So again, let's have a look at the size. 300 pixels by 300 pixels is more than enough for a logo. It might even be too big, but let's leave it at that. So that's all good. I'm going to need another image inside the page of a WordPress page, like a bit of content. So I've got a title and a first paragraph. I may want to add an image. So I'm just going to create another image from one of my holiday snaps. Let's have a look at that. So here's my snap. I'm going to draw a little box. I'm going to crop. And now let's have a look at our size. Now size is 1,300 wide. That's way too wide for a standard view in the size. So let's resize that to 300 pixels. Okay, so let's save that, and we're good to go. So we've got our three images. So let's go and get started in a WordPress.com site. So we sign up. I'm just going to do a blog. So WordPress create a blog address for you, and that's what you want to do in this case because it's free. So if you look down, so I've created my name, Jason's Site 99, down here is your free domain ready to go. It's not a registered.com or anything, but it's good enough for us to try this process. So JSON site 99.wordpress.com. Let's select that, and I'm just going to. This is great for students, so let's go 0 for life. Start with free. So the site's being set up, and it'll set all the structure up and make it all ready to go. So here we go. We have our site is ready to go, but at this stage it isn't really ready. We've got to do a few things before we go. So what do we need to start? First is our site pages. So let's get some extra pages in the site, and then I can describe how they interact. So let's create our first page. I'll publish that. Hit that twice. I create a. So that's our home page. Go back to pages. And create another one. In a sort of, let's call it like a business site. So I'm going services, my services. I'll prepare all this content later, but at the moment I'm just getting the structure right so we can link it all together. So add another page. So bear with me. I'll just create another page here, my blog. Doesn't have to be called anything. Let's publish that. Okay, so there's our pages set up. We have our home page, we have a services page, we have a contact page, and we have a blog. So now I'm going to go in and customize a little bit of that. Around our menu. So the way WordPress works is you've got your pages, but it hasn't created any menus yet. So you've got to, so over the top of the site, we're going to need to navigate through this site. So we jump into customize. Okay, I've got to confirm my email address. So let's go back to my email. Okay, here's my email. Just confirming my email here. So that's all good. Okay, let's go back to Customizer. I might need to refresh this page. Yep. I'll go back into Customize. Now the menus is available. Excellent. So I've got my primary menu, and now I have to add my other pages to this menu. So I've got my blog, click on that, my services, and my home page. I'm going to do all of these services, put them in an order that I want. Okay, that's good. Now I'll also do, I'll just check homepage settings. Okay, so this, we're going to install a theme in a minute, but at the moment we don't want my latest posts to be the home page. So I'm going to select the static page. This is why I've created these pages first. So home page is the home page, and the post page is my blog. Okay, so you just select those because you've already created those pages. That's what it makes it easy to do. So let's publish those. Okay, so let's now have a look at our themes. So the basic themes are not very flexible at all. You may run into quite a bit of frustration using some of the free simple themes that are available. There is a good one called Goran that is free, but it's a little bit more fully featured. So let's have a look at that. So we activate this design. I'm going to customize this site. It's ready to go. Okay, so here's my site. Now, remember I said I might need a logo. We might want to turn some of these things on or off. And we can do that. That's not the one I wanted, sorry. So we don't want to create logo. We've already got our logo. So I'm going to go and select my file from my collection of images that I prepared earlier. Set as logo. So there's my logo. Site icon we don't need to worry about, and we don't need to worry about that. So colors and backgrounds we don't need to worry about just yet either. Header image. So here's our image. They've got some others here to select, but let's put in the image that I created earlier. So we go to select files, it's uploading. Okay, so now we're getting closer. See, it's replaced, put the proper image in there. That's all we need to do there. Have a look at homepage settings. That's all good. Let's have a look at theme options. What else does this theme provide? Show breadcrumbs in the navigation, most likely. Front page navigation, we don't necessarily need to do that, but it can be handy. Let's not worry about that just yet. This front page has a little block component down the bottom. So all we're just doing is allocating those blocks. You won't see that as that changes, but we'll set it all up. Publish that. Okay, so now we can go back to the pages and make sure we've got the right template we're going to use on each of those pages. So remember, in this template, it has a particular design for the homepage, a particular setup. So what's really good about this, we can go now to page attributes. So we're in the actual page. This is the home page I've created. I'll go down to the template and go, yep, okay, this is my front page. And update that. And I'm going to allocate a featured image on that page. I'm going to update that. Okay, let's have a look at how this is starting to take shape. So I'm going to just view this in a new tab. So page updated, I'm going to go view page, right click on and go open a new tab. So it helps to be able to view a site in another window. So edit it in one window and view it in the next. So I want to close all that down, go away. Okay, so you can see here I've got my menu because I set up my menu before, so that's all good to go. I've got my funny looking logo that's probably now too big, don't you think? 300 by 300 is too big for here. I've got my main content area, my main banner, and then I've got my links to the three services. Because this is a home page structure, it puts those three columns in all good to go. Let's have a look at the services page. The services needs a page structure allocated to it, which we'll do shortly. Still got my crazy logo in the top corner. What I would normally do with that logo is go, oh, you know what, it's too big. So I would go back to my preview, select my logo. I'd adjust the size of that down to 150. Save. Then I go back. So we do all this in the customizer. So scroll down to the customizer. Site identity. Remove logo. Add logo. Upload. So you notice over here that it's now 150 by 150 pixels. It's created another copy of this, so it's okay. Notice over here too that this view is actually showing you the shrunken view of the like a tablet size. So there we now go to, I've just made the screen smaller. So it's showing me now what the desktop page is going to look like. So that image now is a whole lot better. Now sometimes you may not want, let's display the title instead. Let's remove the logo and go, I'm just going to put, yeah, put my name instead. Okay, so now it's starting to take shape. If we go back, so we can close this site down. I'll close the editor, the customizer down, and go back to site pages, which we're on here. Go to the home page, and this text here will appear. So let's have a look. Let's go to home. That's why it's handy to have two tabs open, because you can flip between the two. So I've got my website. It's set so it's not displaying homepage in here. So I can change this so so it's larger text. So hang on. Because I'm clicked into this this block, if you like, I can edit the size of these, and I can also edit the color. So I won't want the black background color, I want text color. Let's clear that, it's alright. It's not working. For some reason that button isn't clicking. That button's clearing. Clear. Let's update that, see what that looks like. Okay, so see now I can add a banner information here. Now if I want to build out what this might be, maybe I want to add a button under here to drive like a call to action to another page. So I open up here, this is WordPress's new Gutenberg editor. So I would go to some other elements in here. Here's a layout element of a button. So I can click my button. Click inside. That becomes my button. And apply that. Go back, refresh. Oh, didn't save. Hang on. So let me update that. View my services. That is now, or will be, I can put the link in, but I've added a link through to the services page. So that's a pretty good indication of how to edit content. Let's have a look at. So your core structure is now set up. You've got your menu, you've got your home page, you've got some sub pages, blog posts, and pages. So site pages are static content, we call them. So images, text, might have a video embedded, whatever that is, but sort of pages that are going to sit on the site and stay there for longer periods of time. Your blog posts are timed pieces of released content. So they might be a news article, an update, an event, whatever that might be in your blog flow, or an actual blog, just a story that you're telling. So you would add those, and you can see the site automatically comes with one blog ready to go. Because I've already set up and allocated this blog page, it embeds and starts this blog post automatically. So you don't have to worry about that. If you don't want to, you can look at that later. But let's go back to the home page or the services. Okay, so let's have a look at the services. So click on the services page to go and edit it. So here's my main content. So I want to say a little bit more about this. Obviously, my services isn't a great amount of content, so I'm just going to put some lorem ipsum in there to fill it out. Go back to edit page. Update. So I go back to my preview, refresh, and there's the text that I've just placed. Now, maybe I want to put an image in here or below. So I use these blocks up here to insert more content. So I'm going to go to my, I'm going to upload the one that I created. And insert that image. Now I want the text to align right. So let's have a look at how that displays now. Okay, so I'm going to put in a little bit more text and see what happens with the wrapping. Copy that. I'm going to go back and add another paragraph. So I'm going to move that. You move these blocks up and down the page, so let's move those down. So there we go. We'll go and refresh. Okay, so now you can see how the page can start to construct with wrapping of images to make the content really come to life. Too much text in the page can be not as engaging, obviously. So the other thing we might want to do is add a heading. Text headings are absolutely important in webland. Because you want Google places higher preference to the text in headings, so it's best to make it more detailed. So I'm going to move that up about there. So I'm going to look about what else is in there. Not too much. Okay. Okay, so now we're getting, we've started to pull our pages together. Okay, now say I wanted to link through to this page. Now I'm on the services page. I've copying the URL and I go back to my edit page. Now remember, on the home page I put a button in there, so I need to apply a URL. So I've pasted the link to the services and I'm going to apply that in there. It's applied. Let's update that. Okay, refresh. So services, my services, links through. There you go. Okay, so now we're getting a structure to the site. Now, obviously I'm not happy with these two homepage links. So where do we go for menus? We go into Customize, Menus, Primary. Okay, going to get rid of that, remove. Okay, homepage, services, my blog, and contact. Publish. Okay, so let's refresh. Menu items have gone. Homepage, services, my blog, contact. Beautiful. So now if I go to homepage, you'll see this is all starting to take shape. So hopefully that'll get you started. There's plenty of tutorials online. WordPress is a great platform. It does take a little bit to wrap your head around at the start, but it's very flexible. I would recommend, if you're comfortable with a free theme like this, if you're starting to feel that you need to do more, go and have a look at more templates. There's paid templates. There's thousands of templates out on the market, and find a template that really works. And if that doesn't work, you can even get a template designed and go to that whole next step of a totally customized solution to suit you, and that's where K&D come involved. Thanks.